Yo, there's a couple there. Like, when you mentioned that you could hear Pharrell Monch on Save a Life, that's crazy because when I went to the studio to make that record, shout out to local astronauts, Polly Robert by Drew, my approach on that record was like a hybrid of Pharrell Monch and Busta Rhymes. So I go in the booth, hey, yo, shorty, watch the hot. Yeah, like I'm like my energy's on like 10, 11. And then like, Polly and Bob pulled me to the side. It's like, yo, calm down, man. Like, like if you was really gonna holler at a shorty, like, like how would you do it? Like, oh yeah. Shorty, wow, she hot, yeah, not fair. So I had, so I switched the approach and we just like walked through the record. And that's the difference between a lot of artists today will grab a beat off the internet and like, pay the producer and make a song off of it versus like working with actual producers who can meet you in the middle with your ideas and be like, yo, what if we like do half and half? Like do it this way, that way, boom. And then boom, you cook up what you cook up. So that definitely worked. And then another record it wasn't a challenge, but it was interesting to do. Like on Bad News, when there's that breakdown between Act 1 and Act 2, like that's actually my dad talking on the record. So to get like, I had to just organically wait for him to come to town so I could bring him into the studio and cut his part. Because, he's an interesting guy and I always wanted to just capture him on a record because he used to always have his rhyme and his saying that he used to always do all the time. So I got him to do that. So that was fun. And then Thanks for the Ride, which was like the very last song that I put on the project, was really just like a tip of the hat to the people who was like helping me, throughout my life up to that point. Like, Garnett, who was like kind of A&R in the project, as I started to reform it, he passed away. And then you also got my uncle who always used to like critique like me and my group when like we were starting out. Not Bodega Brothers, but I used to be in a group a long time ago called the Boondocks. This is before the cartoon, right? And like he was like, yo, man, show is whack, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, what do you mean it's whack? Like, your man over there, he look like, he's supposed to be in another group and then da-da-da-da-da. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you're the only person that, that kind of got something, but, the other boys need some work. And he worked with me. He worked with us until we got better and we got polished because that's just the kind of dude he was. So, I definitely wanted to give my uncle a shout out. He passed away due to ALS, a few years ago. And then my man, Todd One, who I grew up watching on Your MTV Raps. We became really tight through the fact that he was a producer on Dish Nation for a couple years. And even beyond that, we just clicked immediately. Like, it's just that Brooklyn Bronx thing, I don't know. We just clicked immediately. And like that became like one of my besties. And he passed away suddenly too. So he was there for a lot of the project, but didn't live to see the project get put out. So I was like, you know what, let me like add this extra record and, just put the energy on it. And, you know what I'm saying? And just, ride out like that. It was a tough record to write, but the words just kind of flowed. Like, I don't even really remember writing it, to be honest with you. It's just like, sometimes we speaking from the heart, the words just materialize. At the end of the day, man, I just appreciate everybody who taps in on any level with anything that I do, because it's crazy. When I walk around the streets, people know me for different things. Like when I go in the airport, an older white lady might recognize me from Dish Nation and whatnot, and that's dope. And the fact that they even connect to me on any level means a lot. You also got people who listen to me on not only the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, but also listen to me on the Morning Hustle. And that's dope. Then you got these weird fringe pockets of people who don't know me from none of that stuff, and they know me from the Bodega Brothers, which is crazy because like I always feel like Bodega Brothers should be doing more. We should be doing more with the Bodega Brothers. You know what I'm saying? But like the fact that people like lock into that, it means a lot. And then even when people discover that I do music and they'd be like, wow, you should do more music. It's like, yo, I got an album out. It's called Action Park. Check it out. You know what I mean? Like, so I always get a kick out of like, these people who are stumbling across me for the first time. Like I was on Wild 'N Out about a week or so ago. And when people saw me do the Wild Style round at the end, they like, yo, Crack, you nice. You should do an album. It's like, all right, yeah, I think I will. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So every day is a new day to make a new impression. And if this is the first time you seeing or hear about me, man, tap in. It's HEADKRACK across all platforms. YouTube, the podcast space, Spotify, Apple Music, IG, and all that stuff. Sometimes you got to create barriers. Like everybody wants access to you at all times. And sometimes you got to be like, no, I have to do this. leave me alone. And it is what it is. Sometimes no is a yes. No for others is a yes for you. Because sometimes you say yes to so many people, there's a bunch of things you can't get done. So you got to create a perimeter sometimes just so you can get certain things done, because the world will pull and pull and pull at you until there's nothing left. So create those barriers for yourself so you can get the most out of your 24, because it's your 24.